What if your thoughts were silently creating the life you live every single day? This audiobook will reveal how to harness the law of attraction to shape your reality, regardless of your current situation. Are you ready to attract the life you truly want? Chapter 1. What you seek is seeking you. Have you ever noticed how certain people seem to effortlessly attract the very things you've been struggling to achieve? They find love when they're not looking for it, stumble upon perfect opportunities at exactly the right moment, or somehow always end up in the right place at the right time. Meanwhile, you might be working twice as hard, wanting it twice as much, yet feeling like you're pushing against an invisible wall. Here's the secret they intuitively understand: what you seek is already seeking you. This isn't poetic wishful thinking. It's a fundamental principle of how energy and consciousness interact with the fabric of reality itself. Every desire that arises within you exists because the universe has already prepared a path for its fulfillment. The longing you feel isn't random intelligence guiding you toward your next level of growth and expansion. Think about this for a moment. Why do you want? Why does the thought of financial freedom stir something deep within you? Why does the idea of finding your soulmate make your heart race? Why does the vision of perfect health fill you with hope? These aren't arbitrary wishes, they're your soul's GPS system, pointing you toward experiences that will help you become who you're meant to be. The law of attraction isn't just about getting things, it's about understanding that you and your desires exist in a dynamic relationship, like two magnets being drawn together through invisible fields of force. When you truly grasp this, everything changes. You stop chasing and start allowing. You stop forcing and start flowing. You stop demanding and start receiving. But here's where most people get lost. They think the law of attraction means sitting on their couch, visualizing $1 million, and waiting for it to fall from the sky. That's not how it works. The law operates through three fundamental forces that are always active in your life, whether you're conscious of them or not: your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. These three create what we might call your energetic signature, the unique frequency you're broadcasting to the universe every moment of every day. Your thoughts are like radio waves, constantly transmitting signals into the quantum field of possibility. Every thought you think is a request, a prayer, a declaration of what you believe is possible for you. But thoughts alone aren't enough. They need the power of emotion to give them life, to make them magnetic. Emotion is the fuel that transforms a mere thought into a living force of attraction. And then there's action, not just any action, but aligned action. This is where the magic happens. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all pointing in the same direction, you become an unstoppable force of manifestation. You're no longer hoping the universe will respond to you. You're actively co-creating with it. The beautiful paradox is that the more you understand, you don't have to chase what you want, the faster it comes to you. When you truly know that what you seek is seeking you, you relax into a state of confident expectation. You begin to notice the signs, the synchronicities, the opportunities that were always there but invisible to your stressed, anxious, desperately seeking mind. Let me share something that might shift your entire perspective. Every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary understood this principle, whether they called it the law of attraction or not. They knew that success wasn't about forcing outcomes, but about aligning themselves with what they wanted to create. They became magnetic to their desires by embodying the energy of what they sought. Consider how this shows up in different areas of life. The person who attracts loving relationships isn't the one who desperately needs love to feel complete. It's the person who already feels whole, who radiates love and appreciation, who has become the kind of person they would want to be with. The entrepreneur who builds a successful business isn't the one who's driven by fear of failure or desperation for money. It's the person who's genuinely excited about serving others, who sees opportunities everywhere, who approaches challenges with curiosity rather than dread. This is the first secret. You attract not what you want, but what you are. Your external reality is always a reflection of your internal state. If you want to change what you're attracting, you must first change what you're being. This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about uncovering and expressing who you truly are beneath all the fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs. The universe is always responding to you, always saying yes to what you're truly asking for. But what you're asking for isn't necessarily what you think you're asking for. You're asking through your predominant thoughts, your consistent emotions, your habitual actions. If your thoughts are focused on lack, your emotions are dominated by fear, and your actions are driven by desperation, that's what you're really asking for: more experiences of lack, fear, and desperation. But when you understand that what you seek is seeking you, everything shifts. You begin to ask yourself different questions. Instead of "why isn't this working?" you ask, "how can I align myself with what I desire?" Instead of "when will I get what I want?" you ask, "who do I need to become to be ready for what I want?" Instead of "why is this taking so long?" you ask, "what is this delay teaching me about patience, trust, and divine timing?" The seeking and the sought exist in a dance of mutual attraction. Your desires are not separate from you. They are extensions of your consciousness, calling you forward into greater experiences of joy, love, abundance, and fulfillment. When you align with this truth, you stop being a victim of circumstance and become a conscious creator of your reality. This is where the real work begins. Not the work of trying harder or wanting more intensely, but the work of becoming more aligned, more authentic, more magnetic to what you truly desire. It's the work of clearing away everything that stands between you and your natural state of attraction. It's the work of remembering that you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe expressing itself through your unique perspective and desire. Every master teacher, every spiritual tradition, every quantum physicist studying consciousness has pointed to the same fundamental truth. The observer and the observed are one. You and your desires are one. You and the universe are one. When you truly embody this understanding, the law of attraction stops being something you do and becomes something you are. In the chapters that follow, we'll explore exactly how to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with this truth. We'll discover the hidden frequencies behind your mental patterns, learn how to reprogram your subconscious beliefs, and master the art of emotional magnetism. But it all begins here, with this foundational understanding. What you seek is seeking you, and the very fact that you desire something is proof that the universe is conspiring to bring it into your life. The question isn't whether the law of attraction works, it's whether you're working with it or against it. The choice, as always, is yours. Chapter 2. The hidden frequencies behind your thoughts. Imagine for a moment that you could see thoughts as they truly are. Not as fleeting mental events, but as actual waves of energy rippling through space and time. If you possessed this supernatural vision, you would witness something extraordinary. Every human being walking around in a cloud of invisible frequencies, their thoughts creating patterns of light and vibration that extend far beyond their physical bodies. This isn't science fiction. Modern quantum physics has revealed that everything in the universe, including thoughts, exists as energy vibrating at specific frequencies. Your brain doesn't just process thoughts, it broadcasts them. Every time you think, you're transmitting a signal into the quantum field that surrounds and interpenetrates all of reality. These thought frequencies carry information, intention, and emotion, creating ripples that influence the probability of certain outcomes manifesting in your life. But here's what most people don't realize. You're not just sending out these frequencies randomly. There are hidden patterns, unconscious programs, and energetic signatures that determine the quality and power of your mental broadcasts. Understanding these hidden frequencies is like discovering the secret operating system of your mind. And once you know how it works, you can consciously program it to work for you instead of against you. Let's start with the most fundamental frequency pattern, your baseline vibration. This is the predominant energy signature you emit when you're not thinking about anything in particular. It's determined by your deepest beliefs about yourself, life, and what's possible for you. Some people have a baseline vibration of optimism, possibility, and trust. Others operate from a baseline of worry, limitation, and fear. Most people fall somewhere in between. But wherever your baseline sits, it acts like a radio station that's always broadcasting, attracting experiences that match its frequency. Your baseline vibration was largely programmed during your early years, when your mind was like wet cement, absorbing every message about how the world works and what you could expect from life. If you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees and good things don't last, those frequencies became embedded in your subconscious operating system. If you were surrounded by messages of love, abundance, and possibility, those became your default transmission. But your baseline is just one layer of the frequency spectrum. On top of it, you have what we might call your daily broadcast, the thoughts and emotions you're actively engaged with throughout the day. These create more immediate ripples in the quantum field, influencing what shows up in your experience over the coming hours, days, and weeks. Then there are your peak frequencies, those moments of intense emotion, whether positive or negative, that send powerful signals into the universe. When you feel deep gratitude, overwhelming joy, or passionate excitement, you're broadcasting at an extremely high frequency that can attract miraculous synchronicities and opportunities. Conversely, when you experience intense fear, anger, or despair, you're transmitting frequencies that can magnetize challenging experiences. Here's where it gets fascinating. The universe doesn't distinguish between what you want and what you don't want. It only responds to the frequency you're emitting. If you're constantly thinking about your financial problems, worrying about your debt, and feeling stressed about money, you're broadcasting a frequency of financial struggle, and that's what you'll continue to attract, regardless of your conscious desire for abundance. This is why positive thinking alone isn't enough. If you're trying to think positive thoughts while your emotional frequency is broadcasting fear or doubt, you're sending mixed signals. It's like trying to tune into a radio station while someone is constantly changing the frequency. You get static instead of clear reception. The key to mastering your thought frequencies lies in understanding the relationship between your conscious and subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is like the tip of an iceberg. It represents only about 10% of your total mental activity. The other 90% is happening in your subconscious, and this is where your most powerful frequencies originate. Your subconscious mind doesn't think in words like your conscious mind does. It thinks in images, emotions, and energy patterns. It's constantly scanning your environment for information that confirms your existing beliefs and programs. If your subconscious believes you're not worthy of love, it will highlight every piece of evidence that supports this belief, while filtering out evidence to the contrary. This creates a feedback loop that reinforces your limiting frequencies and makes them seem absolutely true. But here's the empowering truth. You can reprogram these frequencies. Your brain has neuroplasticity, which means it can form new neural pathways throughout your entire life. Every time you consciously choose a new thought pattern, you're literally rewiring your brain and shifting your energetic signature. The process begins with awareness. You must become conscious of the frequencies you're broadcasting throughout the day. Start paying attention to your internal dialogue, your emotional states, and the stories you tell yourself about your life. Notice the difference between how you feel when you're thinking thoughts of appreciation versus thoughts of complaint. Observe how your energy shifts when you focus on what's working in your life versus what's not working. One of the most powerful ways to shift your frequency is through the practice of conscious thought selection. Instead of letting your mind run on autopilot, you become the DJ of your own mental radio station. When you catch yourself broadcasting limiting frequencies, you gently redirect your attention to thoughts that align with what you want to create. This isn't about denying reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about choosing to focus on the aspects of reality that support your growth and expansion, rather than the aspects that keep you stuck in old patterns. When you face a challenge, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you might ask, "How is this serving my evolution?" Or "What opportunity is hidden within this situation?" Another crucial aspect of frequency mastery is understanding the power of emotional coherence. When your heart and mind are aligned, when your thoughts and feelings are pointing in the same direction, you create a coherent frequency that has tremendous magnetic power. This is why meditation, gratitude practices, and heart-centered breathing techniques are so effective. They help you achieve this state of internal alignment that amplifies your ability to attract what you desire. The hidden frequencies behind your thoughts are also influenced by your environment, the people you spend time with, the media you consume, and the conversations you engage in. Everything around you is broadcasting frequencies, and you're constantly being influenced by these external signals. Becoming aware of these influences allows you to make conscious choices about what frequencies you allow into your energetic field. Perhaps the most profound realization is that your thoughts are not just personal. They're connected to a vast network of consciousness that spans all of humanity. When you shift your frequency, you're not just changing your own life, you're contributing to the collective elevation of human consciousness. Every time you choose love over fear, abundance over lack, or possibility over limitation, you're broadcasting frequencies that make it easier for others to make the same choice. The hidden frequencies behind your thoughts are the secret language of creation. When you learn to read this language, to understand its patterns and principles, you gain access to the control room of your reality. You realize that you're not at the mercy of random circumstance. You're the conscious broadcaster of your own experience, always transmitting the frequencies that will determine what shows up in your tomorrow. Chapter 3. Belief is the gateway. Deep in the basement of your mind, there's a room most people never visit. It's where your most fundamental beliefs about reality live. Beliefs so basic, so assumed, that you rarely question them. These beliefs operate like the foundation of a house, invisible, but absolutely crucial to everything built upon them. And here's the truth that might shock you. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you believe you deserve, what you believe is possible, and what you believe about the nature of reality itself. Your beliefs are not just opinions or ideas you hold lightly. They are the energetic templates that shape every aspect of your experience. They determine what you notice and what you ignore, what opportunities you see and which ones remain invisible, what actions feel natural and which ones feel impossible. Your beliefs are the lens through which you view the world, and that lens literally creates the world you experience. But here's what makes beliefs so tricky. The most powerful ones operate completely below the threshold of conscious awareness. You inherited most of them before you were old enough to question them. They came from your parents, your culture, your early experiences, and the countless messages you absorbed about how life works. By the time you developed the capacity for critical thinking, these beliefs had already wired themselves into your neural network so deeply that they felt like absolute truth rather than learned programs. Consider how beliefs shape perception in the most basic ways. If you believe the world is generally a dangerous place, your nervous system will be on constant alert, scanning for threats, interpreting neutral situations as potentially harmful. If you believe people are fundamentally good, you'll tend to see evidence of kindness and helpfulness everywhere you go. Neither perspective is objectively true. They're both self-fulfilling prophecies created by the beliefs that preceded them. The relationship between belief and reality is far more profound than most people realize. Modern quantum physics has revealed that the act of observation actually influences physical reality at the subatomic level. What you expect to see influences what you actually see, not just psychologically but physically. This suggests that consciousness and reality are far more intertwined than classical science ever imagined. Your beliefs about money, love, health, success, and your own worthiness are literally programming the quantum field to deliver experiences that match those beliefs. If you believe deep down that you're not deserving of wealth, the universe will find countless ways to confirm this belief. Missed opportunities, poor financial decisions, unexpected expenses that drain your resources. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because your beliefs are unconsciously guiding your attention, choices and actions in ways that create the very outcomes you expect. This is why affirmations alone often fail to create lasting change. If you're repeating "I am wealthy" while your subconscious believes rich people are selfish, or money is the root of all evil, you're creating internal conflict rather than coherent attraction. The subconscious belief will win every time because it's operating from a much deeper level of your psyche. The process of belief transformation begins with excavation, digging up the hidden beliefs that are running your life. This requires a kind of psychological archaeology, looking at the patterns in your life and working backward to discover the beliefs that created them. If you repeatedly find yourself in relationships where you feel unappreciated, there's likely a core belief about your worthiness of love that needs to be examined. If you consistently struggle with money, despite your best efforts, there are probably inherited beliefs about wealth, security, or your own capabilities that need to be brought to light. One of the most powerful tools for uncovering limiting beliefs is to pay attention to your emotional reactions. Strong emotional responses often indicate that a core belief has been triggered. When you feel intense frustration, fear, or anger about something, ask yourself, what would I have to believe for this situation to feel so threatening? The answer will often reveal a limiting belief that's been operating in the shadows. Another effective approach is to examine the language you use to describe your life and circumstances. Do you frequently say things like "I can't afford that," "That's just not possible for me," or "People like me don't get opportunities like that"? These seemingly casual statements reveal powerful beliefs about limitation that are actively creating your reality. Once you've identified limiting beliefs, the work of transformation can begin. But this isn't simply a matter of deciding to believe something different. Beliefs are emotional as well as mental. They're backed by years of evidence and neurological wiring. Changing them requires a gentle, persistent approach that honors both the logical and emotional aspects of belief formation. One of the most effective ways to shift limiting beliefs is through the process of finding exception experiences and moments in your life when the limiting belief wasn't true. If you believe you're not good enough, recall times when you succeeded, when you were appreciated, when you made a positive difference. These exceptions prove that your limiting belief is not an absolute truth but a partial perspective that can be expanded. Another powerful approach is to trace your beliefs back to their origins and examine them with your adult understanding. That belief about money being evil might have come from a stressed parent during a difficult financial period. That belief about your unworthiness might have originated from a teacher or peer who was dealing with their own insecurities. When you see these beliefs in their original context, they often lose their power over you. The process of installing new, empowering beliefs requires both repetition and emotional engagement. Your subconscious mind learns through consistent messaging backed by strong emotion. This is why practices like visualization, affirmation, and meditation can be so powerful when done with genuine feeling and clear intention. You're not just thinking new thoughts, you're rewiring your neural networks and shifting your energetic frequency. But perhaps the most profound shift happens when you begin to understand that all beliefs are chosen, whether consciously or unconsciously. Even the beliefs that feel most true, most obvious, most unchangeable, are still perspectives you can evaluate and modify. This realization is incredibly liberating because it means you're not a victim of your conditioning, you're the author of your own belief system. The gateway metaphor is particularly appropriate because beliefs don't just influence your reality, they determine what realities are available to you. A person who believes in scarcity lives in a fundamentally different universe than someone who believes in abundance. A person who believes in their own limitless potential occupies a completely different realm of possibility than someone who believes they're destined for mediocrity. When you truly grasp that belief is the gateway, you realize that changing your life isn't primarily about changing your circumstances, it's about changing your beliefs about what's possible. The circumstances will shift naturally as your beliefs transform, almost as if by magic. But it's not magic, it's the natural result of aligning your internal programming with your conscious desires. The most empowering belief you can adopt is that you have the power to choose your beliefs. This meta-belief, the belief about beliefs themselves, opens the door to unlimited transformation. When you know that you can examine, question, and consciously reprogram any belief that isn't serving you, you become the architect of your own reality rather than its passive recipient. Chapter 4. The Emotion Magnet. Close your eyes and remember the last time you felt truly deeply grateful, not just grateful in your head, but grateful in every cell of your body. Maybe it was holding your newborn child, watching a sunset that took your breath away, or receiving unexpected kindness from a stranger. Do you feel that warm expansion in your chest? That sense of being connected to something larger than yourself? That energy you're feeling right now? That's the real secret behind the law of attraction. Most people think manifestation is about thinking the right thoughts, but that's only half the equation. Thoughts are the language of the mind, but emotions are the language of the universe. If thoughts are like words on a page, emotions are the music that gives those words life, power, and magnetic force. Without emotion, your thoughts are just mental static, with no real impact on your reality. With emotion, they become living forces of creation. Here's what's happening energetically when you feel strong emotion. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that's thousands of times stronger than the field produced by your brain. This heart field extends several feet beyond your physical body, creating what scientists call your personal energy field. When you feel powerful, positive emotions like love, gratitude, joy, or excitement, this field becomes coherent and strong, literally broadcasting your desires into the quantum field with tremendous power. But when you're feeling fear, doubt, anger, or despair, your heart field becomes chaotic and weak. You're still broadcasting, but you're sending mixed signals that tend to attract more of the same chaotic energy you're experiencing. This is why you can think positive thoughts all day long, but if you're feeling anxious or doubtful underneath, your reality won't shift in the direction you want. The key to becoming an emotion magnet lies in understanding that you have far more control over your emotional states than you might realize. Most people think emotions just happen to them, like weather patterns beyond their influence. But emotions are actually sophisticated feedback systems that you can learn to navigate and direct consciously. Every emotion you feel is giving you information about your current frequency and your alignment with your desires. Positive emotions tell you that you're moving toward what you want, while negative emotions signal that you're moving away from it. Think of emotions as your internal GPS system, constantly guiding you toward the experiences that will serve your highest good. But here's where it gets interesting. The universe doesn't respond to the emotion you think you should feel, or the emotion you're trying to fake. It responds to the emotion you're actually feeling, especially the emotions you feel consistently over time. This is why gratitude is such a powerful manifestation tool. When you feel genuinely grateful for what you already have, you're broadcasting a frequency of abundance and appreciation that attracts more things to feel grateful for. The emotion of gratitude is particularly magnetic because it combines several powerful frequencies: appreciation for what is, trust in the universe's benevolence, and openness to receiving more good things. When you feel truly grateful, you're not coming from a place of lack or neediness. You're coming from a place of fullness and recognition of the abundance that already exists in your life. Joy is another incredibly magnetic emotion because it signals to the universe that you're aligned with your true nature. Joy isn't dependent on external circumstances. It's an internal recognition of your connection to the creative force of life itself. When you feel joy, you're broadcasting a frequency that says yes to life, and the universe responds by sending you more experiences to feel joyful about. Love, particularly the kind of love that extends beyond personal relationships to encompass all of life, creates perhaps the most powerful magnetic field of all. When you feel love, you're aligned with the fundamental creative force of the universe. You're not trying to get something from life, you're offering something to life, and that offering creates a natural flow of abundance back to you. But what about the challenging emotions? What about fear, anger, sadness, or disappointment? These emotions are often labeled as negative, but they're actually valuable messengers trying to guide you back to alignment. The key is not to suppress or deny these emotions, but to feel them fully and then use them as stepping stones to more empowering emotional states. Fear, for example, often contains important information about what matters to you. If you're afraid of failing at something, it's because that something is important to you. Instead of trying to eliminate the fear, you can acknowledge its message, and then consciously shift into an emotion that serves you better. Perhaps excitement about the possibility of success, or confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes. Anger can be transformed into passion and determination. Sadness can become compassion and deeper appreciation for the good times. Every challenging emotion contains within it the seeds of a more empowering emotional state. The skill lies in learning to feel your emotions fully without getting stuck in them, and then consciously choosing to move toward frequencies that support your desires. One of the most powerful techniques for shifting your emotional frequency is what we might call emotional bridging. Instead of trying to jump from despair to joy in one leap, you find intermediate emotions that feel more accessible. If you're feeling hopeless, you might first reach for anger, which actually has more energy than despair. From anger, you might move to frustration, then to determination, then to optimism, and finally to excitement. Each step feels natural and achievable, but the cumulative effect is a complete transformation of your magnetic frequency. Another crucial aspect of emotional magnetism is consistency. The universe responds more to your average emotional state than to your peak moments. If you feel grateful for 5 minutes during meditation but worried and stressed for the rest of the day, worry and stress are your dominant broadcasts. This is why developing emotional habits and practices is so important for successful manifestation. Daily emotional practices might include gratitude journaling, heart-centered meditation, visualization with feeling, or simply taking time throughout the day to appreciate the good things in your life. The key is to make positive emotional states a regular part of your experience, rather than occasional peak moments. The body plays a crucial role in emotional magnetism, because emotions are fundamentally physical experiences. When you change your physiology or posture, breathing, facial expressions, and movements, you can quickly shift your emotional state. This is why practices like yoga, dance, deep breathing, and even smiling can be powerful tools for emotional transformation. Perhaps the most profound realization about emotions and manifestation is that you don't need to wait for external circumstances to change before you can feel good. In fact, feeling good first is what creates the magnetic pull that draws better circumstances to you. This means that emotional well-being isn't just the result of a good life, it's the cause of a good life. When you become an emotion magnet, when you learn to consistently broadcast frequencies of love, gratitude, joy, and excitement, Your entire reality begins to reorganize itself around these frequencies. Opportunities appear, synchronicities multiply, and people are naturally drawn to your positive energy. You become a walking magnet for all the good things life has to offer. The secret is not to wait for reasons to feel good, but to feel good for no reason at all. When you can access joy, love, and gratitude as natural expressions of your being, rather than responses to external conditions, you've mastered the art of emotional magnetism. You've learned to create from the inside out, and that's when the real magic begins. Chapter 5. The Secret Power of Clarity. Imagine walking into a restaurant and telling the waiter, "I want food. Just bring me something good." What are the chances you'll receive exactly what you were hoping for? Now imagine walking in and saying, "I'd like the grilled salmon with lemon butter, asparagus, and wild rice, cooked medium, with the sauce on the side." The universe operates much like that, waiter. The more specific and clear you are about what you want, the more precisely it can deliver. Yet, most people approach the law of attraction with the same vagueness they'd reject in any other area of life. They say they want more money without specifying how much, by when, or for what purpose. They want to find love, without clarifying what kind of love, with what qualities or in what context. They desire better health, without defining what better means to them or what specific improvements they're seeking. This lack of clarity isn't just inefficient, it's actually counterproductive. Vague desires create vague results because the universe responds to the precision of your request. When your intentions are unclear, you're essentially placing a scrambled order that the universe can't fulfill accurately. Instead of manifesting what you truly want, you end up with a confusing mixture of partial results that may not serve your highest good. Clarity is power because it focuses your mental and emotional energy like a laser beam. When you know exactly what you want, your subconscious mind can work efficiently to notice opportunities, resources, and synchronicities that align with your specific intention. Your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information, suddenly starts highlighting everything relevant to your clear desire, while filtering out distractions. But clarity isn't just about knowing what you want, it's about understanding why you want it. The why behind your desire is often more important than the what, because it reveals the deeper need or value that your desire represents. When you get clear about your underlying motivations, you open yourself to receiving what you want in ways you might never have imagined. For example, if you want $1 million, what's the deeper desire behind that goal? Is it freedom from financial stress? The ability to help others? Recognition of your worth? Adventure and new experiences? Security for your family? When you get clear about the why, the universe can deliver that underlying desire through countless different pathways, not just the specific one you had in mind. This is where many people make a crucial mistake. They become so attached to how their desire should manifest that they miss other, often better opportunities for fulfillment. True clarity includes being specific about what you want while remaining open to how it comes to you. You want to be clear about the destination but flexible about the route. The process of gaining clarity often reveals that what you thought you wanted isn't really what you want at all. As you dig deeper into your motivations and examine your true values, you might discover that your surface-level desires were actually someone else's goals that you unconsciously adopted. The successful executive who realizes they actually want simple happiness. The person seeking fame who discovers they really want authentic connection. The individual chasing wealth who finds they're actually seeking purpose and meaning. One of the most powerful clarity practices is what we might call desire archaeology. This involves taking any goal or want and asking deeper questions about it. What would having this give you? How would you feel if you already had it? What would it allow you to do or be? What fear or insecurity would it resolve? As you dig deeper, you often discover the core desire beneath the surface want, and this core desire is what you should focus your manifestation efforts on. Another crucial aspect of clarity is understanding the difference between needs and preferences. Needs are non-negotiable requirements for your happiness and fulfillment. Preferences are specific ways you'd like those needs to be met, but they're not the only ways. When you get clear about your true needs, you give the universe maximum flexibility in delivering them. When you mistake preferences for needs, you limit the pathways through which your good can come. Clarity also requires honest self-assessment about your current reality. and your readiness to receive what you desire. If you want a committed relationship but you haven't dealt with your trust issues from past relationships, the universe might delay your manifestation until you're truly ready to receive and maintain what you're asking for. This isn't punishment, it's wisdom. Getting what you want before you're ready for it often creates more problems than benefits. The process of gaining clarity often involves making difficult choices and trade-offs. True clarity means being willing to say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. It means prioritizing your authentic desires over others' expectations. It means accepting that you can't have everything at once and focusing your energy on what matters most to you right now. One of the most overlooked aspects of clarity is emotional clarity. Being clear not just about what you want, but about how you want to feel. Often, we're not really seeking specific things or circumstances, we're seeking specific emotional states. The person who wants wealth may really be seeking security and freedom. The individual pursuing fame might actually be seeking validation and appreciation. When you get clear about the feelings you're truly seeking, you can often find multiple ways to experience those feelings while you're manifesting the external circumstances. Clarity also involves understanding your own patterns and tendencies. What kinds of goals energize you versus drain you? What motivates you most effectively? What environments support your success? What kinds of challenges do you thrive on? The better you understand yourself, the more effectively you can design goals and intentions that work with your natural strengths and preferences, rather than against them. Perhaps most importantly, clarity requires regular review and refinement. Your desires naturally evolve as you grow and change. What you wanted 5 years ago might not be relevant to who you are today. Regular clarity sessions, times when you review your goals, examine your motivations, and adjust your intentions, ensure that you're always working toward what truly matters to you now, not what mattered to a previous version of yourself. The secret power of clarity is that it transforms the law of attraction from a hit-or-miss process into precision manifestation. When you know exactly what you want, why you want it, how it would feel to have it, and what it would allow you to contribute to the world, you create a clear channel for the universe to deliver your desires efficiently and effectively. But remember, clarity isn't about limitation, it's about focus. When you focus sunlight through a magnifying glass, you don't limit the sun's power, you concentrate it to create fire. Similarly, when you focus your desires through the lens of clarity, you don't limit your possibilities, you concentrate your creative power to manifest your intentions with precision and speed. Chapter 6. The Trap of Doubt, and How to Escape It. Doubt is the signal jam that disrupts the clear transmission between your desires and their manifestation. It's the static that interferes with the perfect frequency you're trying to broadcast to the universe. Understanding doubt isn't just about positive thinking, it's about recognizing the deeper mechanisms that create resistance in your energetic field, and learning to dissolve them systematically. The nature of doubt is insidious. It doesn't announce itself with fanfare. Instead, it whispers quietly in the background of your consciousness, planting seeds of uncertainty that grow into forests of limitation. What if this doesn't work? What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm deluding myself? These seemingly innocent questions carry tremendous power because they shift your vibrational frequency from possibility to resistance. To understand how doubt operates, we must first recognize that it's not simply a mental phenomenon. Doubt is an energetic state that permeates every cell of your being. When you doubt, your body contracts, your breathing becomes shallow, and your electromagnetic field literally shrinks. This contraction sends a clear signal to the universe. I am not ready to receive. The universe, being perfectly responsive, honors this signal by withholding what you've been asking for. The first step in escaping the trap of doubt is to develop what I call doubt awareness. This means learning to catch doubt in the act before it takes root in your consciousness. Most people live with doubt as a constant companion, so familiar that they don't even notice its presence. But once you begin to observe your inner dialogue with the curiosity of a scientist, you'll be amazed at how often doubt shows up in subtle forms. Doubt often masquerades as being realistic or being practical. Society has conditioned us to believe that doubt is a sign of intelligence and that unwavering faith is naive. This is one of the greatest deceptions that keeps people trapped in limitation. True intelligence recognizes that doubt is simply a learned response that can be unlearned. Practicality isn't about limiting your vision. It's about understanding the practical mechanics of how manifestation actually works. The antidote to doubt isn't blind faith. It's what I call informed certainty. This comes from understanding the principles underlying the law of attraction so deeply that doubt becomes irrelevant. When you truly understand that your thoughts are creative forces, that your emotions are guidance systems, and that the universe is conspiring to give you what you focus on, doubt begins to dissolve naturally. One of the most powerful techniques for eliminating doubt is the doubt transformation process. When you notice doubt arising, instead of fighting it or trying to suppress it, you transform it. Ask yourself, what would I have to believe for this doubt to be impossible? Then consciously choose to adopt that belief. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about recognizing that all beliefs are choices, and you might as well choose beliefs that serve you. Another crucial aspect of escaping doubt is understanding its origins. Most doubts aren't even yours originally. They're inherited from family systems, absorbed from cultural conditioning, or adopted from past experiences. The voice that says people like us don't get to have that isn't your authentic voice. It's an echo from someone else's limitation. Once you recognize this, you can begin to return these doubts to their rightful owners and reclaim your natural state of possibility. The practice of evidence gathering is also essential. Instead of focusing on all the reasons why something might not work, you deliberately collect evidence of when the law of attraction has worked in your life. This evidence doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be as simple as thinking of someone and having them call, or needing a parking space and finding one exactly where you needed it. The more you train your mind to notice these synchronicities, the more confidence you build in the process. Doubt also thrives on isolation. When you keep your dreams and desires secret, doubt has free rein to whisper its poison without challenge. This is why finding a community of like-minded people is so important. Surrounding yourself with others who understand and practice these principles creates a field of support that makes doubt much harder to maintain. The ultimate escape from doubt comes through direct experience. No amount of reading or studying can compare to the certainty that comes from seeing the law of attraction work repeatedly in your own life. This is why it's important to start with smaller manifestations and build your confidence gradually. Each success becomes evidence that doubt can use against itself, creating an upward spiral of faith and manifestation. Remember, doubt isn't your enemy. It's simply a signal that you've momentarily disconnected from your power. The moment you recognize doubt for what it is, you've already begun to escape its trap. In that recognition, you reclaim your birthright as a conscious creator, and the static clears from your signal to the universe. Chapter 7. Visualization. More than just imagination. Visualization is not daydreaming. It's not wishful thinking. It's not escape from reality. It's the conscious construction of a new reality, using the most powerful creative tool you possess, your imagination. When properly understood and practiced, visualization becomes a precise technology for programming your subconscious mind and aligning your entire being with your desired outcomes. The confusion around visualization stems from treating it as a mental exercise rather than understanding it as an energetic practice. True visualization engages not just your visual imagination but your entire sensory system, your emotional body, and your energetic field. It's a full-spectrum experience that creates what scientists are now calling embodied cognition, where your brain literally cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. This neurological fact is the key to understanding why visualization works. Your subconscious mind, which controls 95% of your behavior and creates your consistent results, responds to images, emotions, and sensory data, not logic or willpower. When you visualize with sufficient vividness and emotional intensity, you're literally programming new neural pathways and creating new automatic responses that align with your desires. The first principle of effective visualization is specificity. Vague images create vague results. Instead of visualizing being successful, you need to create a specific, detailed, multisensory experience of exactly what success looks and feels like in your life. What are you wearing? Where are you standing? Who is with you? What sounds do you hear? What do you smell? The more specific your visualization, the more precise the instructions you're giving to your subconscious mind. The second principle is emotional intensity. Images without emotion are just pictures. It's the emotional charge that gives your visualizations their creative power. This is why it's crucial to not just see your desired outcome, but to feel it with every fiber of your being. You need to generate the exact emotional state you would experience if your visualization were already your reality. This emotional resonance is what creates the vibrational match between you and your desire. The practice of future memory is one of the most advanced visualization techniques. Instead of visualizing something you hope will happen, you recall something that has already happened in the future. You step into a timeline where your desire has already manifested, and you look back on the journey that brought you there. This subtle shift in perspective eliminates the resistance that comes from hoping or wanting, and replaces it with the certainty of remembering. Timing in visualization is crucial. Your subconscious mind is most receptive to programming during the theta brainwave states that occur just before sleep and just after waking. These are the golden windows when your conscious, analytical mind is quiet and your subconscious is open, new information. Spending just 10-15 minutes in deep visualization during these periods can be more powerful than hours of casual daydreaming. The concept of living from the end transforms visualization from something you do into something you are. Instead of visualizing to get something, you visualize from the assumption that you already have it. This shift from wanting to having changes your entire energetic signature and broadcasts a completely different signal to the universe. When you live from the end result, you naturally begin to think, feel, and act in ways that align with that reality. One of the most common mistakes in visualization is focusing on the how instead of the what. Many people get stuck trying to visualize exactly how their desire will manifest, which limits the universe's ability to deliver it in ways they couldn't imagine. Your job is to be crystal clear about what you want and how it will feel to have it, while remaining completely open about how it arrives. The practice of scripting can enhance your visualization by engaging your kinesthetic learning style. This involves writing out your ideal day, relationship, or life situation in present tense, as if it's already happening. The act of writing engages different neural pathways than visualization alone, and can help make your desired reality feel more concrete and achievable. Visualization also works backwards. You can use it to heal limiting beliefs by visualizing your past self in empowering situations, or to clear emotional blocks by visualizing forgiveness and resolution with people who have hurt you. This technique, sometimes called timeline healing, recognizes that your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between past, present, and future. It only knows now. The integration of visualization with physical action creates exponential results. When you visualize and then take inspired action toward your goal, you create what I call reality momentum. Your visualization primes your subconscious to recognize opportunities, while your action demonstrates commitment to the universe. This combination creates an irresistible force that draws your desires into physical manifestation. Advanced practitioners learn to visualize with their entire body, not just their mind. They feel the visualization in their cells, breathe it into their DNA, and embody it so completely that their very presence begins to magnetize their desires. This is when visualization transcends technique and becomes a way of being, a constant, living prayer that shapes reality from the inside out. Chapter 8. Action is alignment. The greatest misunderstanding about the law of attraction is that it's about sitting back and waiting for things to happen. This passive approach has led to countless failures and has given the law of attraction a reputation for being unrealistic or ineffective. The truth is that action is not separate from attraction. It's the physical expression of it. When you understand action as alignment, everything changes. Aligned action is different from ordinary action in both quality and origin. Ordinary action comes from the ego's need to control outcomes, force solutions, and make things happen through sheer will. It's driven by fear, lack, and the belief that you must struggle to succeed. Aligned action, on the other hand, emerges from a state of connection with your higher self and the natural flow of the universe. It feels effortless, inspired, and perfectly timed. The key to understanding aligned action lies in recognizing the difference between action and reaction. Most people spend their lives reacting to circumstances, trying to fix problems, and struggling against what they don't want. This reactive approach keeps you vibrationally aligned with the very things you're trying to change. Aligned action comes from a proactive state of being, where you're responding to inner guidance rather than outer pressure. Inspired action has distinct characteristics that you can learn to recognize. First, it feels good. It energizes rather than drains you. Second, it flows naturally from your visualization and meditation practices. Third, it often seems to come out of nowhere, a sudden knowing of what to do next. Fourth, It leads to synchronicities, opportunities, and connections that feel magical. When you're taking aligned action, the universe conspires to support you in ways that feel almost miraculous. The practice of intuitive action requires developing a relationship with your inner guidance system. This isn't about dramatic spiritual experiences or hearing voices. It's about learning to recognize the subtle impulses, hunches, and inclinations that arise when you're in a quiet, receptive state. These impulses are your soul's GPS system, guiding you toward the people, places, and experiences that will manifest your desires most efficiently. One of the most important principles of aligned action is timing. The universe has its own rhythm, and learning to move in harmony with this rhythm is essential for effortless manifestation. This means learning to recognize when to act and when to wait, when to push forward and when to allow. Forced action at the wrong time creates resistance and delays. Patient action at the right time creates miracles. The concept of following the breadcrumbs revolutionizes how you approach goal achievement. Instead of trying to figure out the entire path from where you are to where you want to be, you simply focus on the next logical step that feels inspired. Each step reveals the next step, creating a path that often looks nothing like what you originally planned, but leads you exactly where you need to go. Aligned action also means saying no to opportunities that don't resonate with your vision, even when they seem logical or potentially beneficial. Every yes to something that's not aligned is a no to something that is. This requires tremendous faith and discipline, especially when you're in a place of need or scarcity. But consistently choosing alignment over convenience is what separates those who manifest their dreams from those who settle for whatever comes along. The practice of energy management is crucial for maintaining alignment in your actions. This means paying attention to your energy levels, emotional state, and overall vitality when making decisions about what to do and when to do it. Taking action from a depleted or frustrated state rarely produces positive results. Taking action from a place of joy, inspiration, and high energy creates results that exceed your expectations. Procrastination is often misunderstood as laziness, but it's usually a sign that you're not yet aligned with a particular action. Instead of forcing yourself to act, ask yourself what would need to shift internally for this action to feel inspired and natural. Sometimes procrastination is your inner wisdom protecting you from taking action at the wrong time or in the wrong way. The paradox of aligned action is that it often requires doing less, not more. When you're aligned, you accomplish more with less effort, because you're working with the natural flow of energy rather than against it. This doesn't mean being passive. It means being strategic about where you invest your energy and attention. Aligned action also includes the actions you take to maintain your internal state. Meditation, visualization, gratitude practices, and self-care. These aren't selfish indulgences or procrastination tactics. They're the foundation that makes all other action possible. When your internal state is aligned, every action you take carries the full power of your intention. The ultimate expression of aligned action is when your very presence becomes the action, when you embody your desires so completely that simply being yourself creates the results you want. You've mastered the art of living as a magnet. This is the goal, not just to take aligned action, but to become alignment itself. Chapter 9. Detachment. The paradox of receiving. The greatest paradox in manifestation is this: the more desperately you want something, the more you push it away. The tighter you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. This isn't a cruel cosmic joke. It's a fundamental principle of energy that, once understood, becomes your greatest ally in creating the life you desire. Detachment isn't about not caring. It's about caring so deeply that you trust the universe to deliver in ways that exceed your limited imagination. Attachment is energy constriction. When you're attached to a specific outcome, you literally squeeze the life force out of your desire through the intensity of your need. This creates what I call manifestation anxiety, a state where your wanting actually repels what you want. The universe responds to your energetic state, not your conscious wishes, and the energy of desperate wanting says, "I don't have this, and I'm afraid I never will." True detachment begins with understanding the difference between preference and attachment. Having preferences is natural and healthy. It's how you navigate life and make choices. Attachment occurs when your emotional well-being becomes dependent on getting your preference met. When your happiness, self-worth, or sense of security hinges on a specific outcome, you've crossed the line from preference into attachment. The practice of divine indifference doesn't mean becoming apathetic or giving up your dreams. It means cultivating a state where you can hold your desires lightly, with open hands rather than clenched fists. You care deeply about your vision, while simultaneously being completely okay if it manifests differently than you expected, or if it comes in a different timeline than you planned. Detachment requires a fundamental shift in your relationship with outcomes. Instead of needing specific results to feel good, you learn to feel good first, independent of circumstances. This isn't positive thinking or denial. It's recognizing that your well-being is an inside job that doesn't depend on external conditions. When you can be happy without your desire, you become magnetic to it. The fear underlying attachment is almost always a fear of not being enough. You believe that having this thing will finally make you worthy, lovable, or complete. But the truth is that you already are all of these things. The external manifestation is simply a reflection of internal wholeness, not the source of it. When you realize that you don't need anything to be complete, everything becomes available to you. Practicing detachment involves what I call outcome flexibility. This means being crystal clear about how you want to feel and what experience you want to have, while remaining completely open about how that experience arrives. Maybe you want to feel financially free, but you're attached to it coming through a specific job or business. Outcome flexibility allows the universe to deliver financial freedom through means you never considered, and often through pathways that are far better than what you originally planned. The technique of energetic releasing helps you let go of attachment without giving up your dreams. This involves consciously sending your desires out into the universe with the energy of a gift rather than a demand. You offer your dreams to the universe and trust that if they're meant for you, they'll return in perfect timing and form. If they don't return, something better is on its way. Detachment also applies to timing. One of the most common sources of manifestation frustration is attachment to when something should happen. The universe operates on divine timing, which rarely matches human time. Learning to trust this timing, even when it seems delayed or inconvenient, is essential for maintaining the energetic state that allows miracles to occur. The practice of worst-case scenario peace is a powerful detachment tool. This involves honestly examining what would happen if your desire never manifested, and finding peace with that possibility. This isn't pessimism, it's freedom. When you can genuinely say, I would prefer this outcome, but I'll be absolutely fine if it doesn't happen, you remove the energetic charge that creates resistance. Gratitude is the fastest path to detachment, because it shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already present. When you're genuinely grateful for what you have, you naturally relax your grip on what you don't have. This relaxation creates space for new things to enter your life. Gratitude says to the universe, I trust that I'm always being given exactly what I need. The surrender that comes with detachment isn't giving up, it's giving over. You give your desires over to a power greater than your personality and its limited perspective. This doesn't mean becoming passive. It means aligning your will with divine will, and trusting that this alignment will produce results far greater than you could achieve through force or manipulation. Advanced detachment involves what I call outcome transcendence. This is where you become so identified with the creative process itself, the joy of visioning, the excitement of alignment, the satisfaction of inspired action, that the specific outcomes become secondary. You fall in love with being a conscious creator, and this love naturally attracts creations that match its frequency. The ultimate detachment is realizing that you are not separate from what you desire, you are one with it. In this state of unity consciousness, there's nothing to get, because there's no separation between you and it. This is when manifestation becomes effortless, because there's no gap to bridge, no distance to cover. You simply allow what you are to express itself in physical form. Chapter 10. The Law of Vibration. Before there was attraction, there was vibration. The law of attraction is actually a secondary law that operates through the primary law of vibration. Everything in the universe is in constant motion, vibrating at specific frequencies, and these frequencies determine what you attract into your life. Understanding vibration isn't just theoretical knowledge, it's practical power that allows you to consciously tune yourself to the frequency of your desires. Vibration is not a metaphor. Modern quantum physics has confirmed what ancient wisdom traditions have always known. At the most fundamental level, everything is energy in motion. Your thoughts vibrate, your emotions vibrate, your body vibrates, and even your seemingly solid physical environment is vibrating energy that appears stable only because of the limited range of your perception. When you change your vibration, you literally change your reality. Your vibrational frequency is determined by the combination of your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and physical state. Think of yourself as a radio tower, constantly broadcasting a signal into the universe. This signal attracts experiences, people, and opportunities that match its frequency. If you're broadcasting the frequency of lack, struggle, and limitation, that's what you'll attract. If you're broadcasting abundance, joy, and possibility, that becomes your magnetic field. The most important aspect of understanding vibration is recognizing that it's not about positive thinking, it's about authentic alignment. You can't fake your vibration or manipulate it through forced positivity. Your true vibrational state is determined by your deep, genuine feelings and beliefs, not your surface thoughts. This is why affirmations often fail. If you're affirming abundance while feeling poor, you're broadcasting mixed signals that create mixed results. Emotional guidance is your built-in vibrational feedback system. Your emotions tell you whether your current thoughts are raising or lowering your vibration. When you feel good, joyful, grateful, excited, peaceful, you're in vibrational alignment with your desires. When you feel bad, angry, fearful, depressed, frustrated, you're vibrating at a frequency that repels what you want. Learning to use emotions as guidance rather than getting lost in them is essential for conscious creation. The vibrational scale is a practical tool for understanding and shifting your frequency. At the bottom are emotions like shame, guilt, and depression. Very low, slow vibrations that attract more of what you don't want. In the middle are emotions like anger and frustration, higher than depression, but still not magnetic to positive outcomes. At the top are emotions like joy, love, and appreciation, high-frequency states that naturally attract wonderful experiences. Raising your vibration isn't about jumping from depression to joy in one leap. It's about taking the next best feeling available to you. If you're feeling hopeless, reaching for anger might actually be a step up. If you're angry, reaching for frustration is progress. If you're frustrated, reaching for hope is advancement. Each incremental shift in vibration attracts slightly better experiences, creating an upward spiral of improvement. Your physical environment affects your vibration more than most people realize. Cluttered, chaotic spaces create cluttered, chaotic energy in your field. Beautiful, organized environments support higher vibrational states. This is why Feng Shui, sacred geometry, and other environmental practices have such powerful effects on consciousness and manifestation. Your external environment and your internal vibration are in constant dialogue. The people you spend time with significantly impact your vibrational state. You literally entrain to the frequencies of those around you, which is why it's said that you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. Surrounding yourself with positive, growth-oriented, high-vibe people naturally raises your own frequency. Conversely, spending time with negative, limiting, low-vibe people pulls you down, no matter how strong you think you are. Sound is pure vibration, which makes it one of the most direct ways to shift your frequency. Certain music, mantras, singing bowls, or even the sound of your own voice humming can instantly change your vibrational state. This is why every spiritual tradition includes sound practices. They're technologies for consciousness that work at the vibrational level. The practice of vibrational maintenance is as important as physical hygiene. Just as you brush your teeth and shower regularly, you need regular practices to keep your vibration clean and high. These might include meditation, gratitude practices, time in nature, exercise, creative expression, or whatever consistently raises your frequency. Without vibrational maintenance, you gradually sink into the default frequency of mass consciousness, which is generally not aligned with your dreams. Your thoughts are vibrational seeds that grow into physical experiences, but not all thoughts have equal creative power. The thoughts you think with strong emotion, repetition, and belief are the ones that manifest. This is why a fleeting negative thought doesn't create negative experiences, but persistent worry or fear does. Learning to choose your thoughts consciously and charge them with positive emotion is the art of vibrational creation. The concept of vibrational match explains why some things manifest easily while others seem impossible. When your vibration matches the frequency of your desire, manifestation is effortless and natural. When there's a vibrational gap, no amount of action can force the manifestation. The key is to identify where your vibration doesn't match your desire and consciously work to close that gap. Advanced practitioners learn to sense vibration directly. They can feel the frequency of a person, place, or situation without needing external validation. This vibrational sensitivity becomes a navigation system that guides them toward experiences that raise their frequency and away from those that lower it. This is the ultimate manifestation skill, living by vibrational guidance rather than mental analysis. The mastery of vibration is the mastery of reality creation. When you can consciously raise and maintain high frequencies regardless of external circumstances, you become a powerful magnet for miracles. This is not about perfection or never having low moments. It's about returning to high vibration quickly and consistently, creating a dominant frequency that shapes your entire life experience. Chapter 11. Why Gratitude Unlocks Everything. Gratitude is not an emotion, it's a frequency. It's not something you feel occasionally when good things happen. It's a vibrational state you can cultivate and maintain regardless of circumstances. When you understand gratitude as a fundamental creative force rather than just a nice feeling, it becomes the master key that unlocks every door in your manifestation journey. The power of gratitude lies in its unique ability to simultaneously acknowledge what is while attracting what could be. When you're grateful for what you have, you're vibrating at the frequency of abundance. This frequency tells the universe that you're someone who recognizes and appreciates good things, making you a natural candidate for receiving more good things. Gratitude creates an energetic feedback loop that amplifies itself exponentially. True gratitude is different from gratitude as a technique or strategy. Strategic gratitude, being grateful in order to get something, carries an underlying vibration of manipulation that the universe easily recognizes. Authentic gratitude arises from a genuine recognition of the gifts already present in your life. This recognition naturally raises your vibration and creates magnetic properties that attract more to be grateful for. The neuroscience of gratitude reveals why it's so transformative. When you practice genuine appreciation, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, natural happiness chemicals that create feelings of joy and well-being. But more importantly for manifestation, gratitude activates the heart's electromagnetic field, which is 60 times greater than the brain's. This heart coherence creates a powerful broadcast signal that the universe responds to with matching experiences. One of the most profound aspects of gratitude is its ability to collapse the gap between desire and having. When you can feel genuinely grateful for something you desire as if you already have it, you're vibrating at the frequency of possession rather than lack. This shifts your entire energetic signature from wanting to having, which is the secret to rapid manifestation. The practice of future gratitude is advanced manifestation technique. This involves feeling sincere appreciation for your desires. Before they manifest in physical form, you thank the universe in advance for the perfect job, the ideal relationship, or the abundant lifestyle that's making its way to you. This isn't pretending or forcing false feelings. It's recognizing that in the quantum field, your desire already exists, and you're simply grateful for its inevitable appearance in your physical reality. Gratitude for challenges and obstacles is perhaps the most transformative practice of all. When you can genuinely appreciate the difficult experiences in your life, not because you're masochistic, but because you recognize their role in your growth and expansion, you transmute their energy from resistance to fuel. Every challenge contains a gift, and gratitude is how you unwrap it. The concept of micro-gratitude involves appreciating the smallest details of your experience throughout the day: the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the taste of your morning coffee, the smile of a stranger, the fact that your heart is beating without any conscious effort on your part. These tiny moments of appreciation create a constant flow of high-vibe energy that transforms your entire life experience. Gratitude journaling, when done correctly, is one of the most powerful manifestation tools available, but it's not about writing lists of things you should be grateful for. Effective gratitude journaling involves choosing 3 to 5 specific experiences from your day and writing about them in detail. Not just what happened, but how they made you feel and why you appreciate them. This process rewires your brain to look for and magnify positive experiences. The ripple effect of gratitude extends far beyond your personal manifestations. When you're in a state of appreciation, you naturally become more generous, kind, and loving. This creates positive karma that returns to you multiplied. People are drawn to grateful people because gratitude is magnetic. It creates an aura of positivity that others want to be around, opening doors and creating opportunities that wouldn't otherwise exist. Gratitude also has the power to heal relationships and dissolve resentments. When you can find something to appreciate about someone who has hurt you, perhaps the strength you developed through the experience, or the clarity you gained about your own values, You free yourself from the energetic bondage of victimhood. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior. It means reclaiming your power by choosing appreciation over resentment. The challenge with gratitude is maintaining it during difficult times. This is when gratitude practice becomes gratitude mastery. Anyone can be grateful when life is going well. The true test is whether you can find authentic appreciation when everything seems to be falling apart. This is when gratitude becomes a choice rather than a reaction. And that choice has the power to transform any situation. Advanced gratitude practice involves what I call global appreciation, expanding your gratitude beyond your personal life to include appreciation for the beauty of existence itself. Gratitude for the miracle that you exist at all, for the incredible complexity and intelligence of the universe, for the fact that billions of years of evolution led to this moment of consciousness. Reading these words, this key perspective naturally elevates your vibration and connects you to the source of all manifestation. The ultimate realization about gratitude is that it's not something you do, it's something you become. When appreciation becomes your natural response to life, when you automatically look for the gift in every experience, when thankfulness flows through you like breath, you've become a living magnet for miracles. In this state, you don't need to manifest anything, because you recognize that everything you need is already here, and everything you desire is already on its way. Chapter 12. The Mirror of Reality. Your external reality is a perfect mirror of your internal state. Every person you encounter, every situation you experience, every challenge you face, is reflecting back to you something about your own consciousness. This isn't mystical philosophy, it's the practical mechanics of how reality operates. When you learn to read this mirror correctly, it becomes the most powerful diagnostic tool for understanding where you are, vibrationally, and what needs to shift for you to manifest your desires. The mirror principle operates through what quantum physicists call the observer effect. Your consciousness doesn't just observe reality, it participates in creating it. The beliefs you hold, the emotions you feel, and the thoughts you think literally influence the quantum field to arrange itself in patterns that match your internal state. You're not a victim of circumstances, you're the unconscious creator of them. Most people live their entire lives reacting to the mirror instead of recognizing it as a mirror. They see a challenging situation and believe the situation is the problem, not realizing that the situation is simply showing them where their own consciousness is out of alignment. They try to change the reflection by manipulating the circumstances, which is like trying to fix your appearance by adjusting the mirror instead of adjusting yourself. The first step in reading your reality mirror is developing what I call mirror consciousness. The ability to see every external experience as information about your internal state. When you encounter a rude person, instead of focusing on their rudeness, ask yourself, what in me attracted this experience? What is this showing me about my own energy or beliefs? This shift from victim to observer is the beginning of conscious creation. Your relationships are the clearest mirrors you have. The people closest to you, family, friends, romantic partners, reflect back to you both your conscious and unconscious beliefs about yourself. If you consistently attract partners who don't appreciate you, look at how you don't appreciate yourself. If you have friends who are always complaining, examine your own tendency toward negativity. If people seem to take advantage of you, investigate your own boundaries and self-worth. Financial mirrors are particularly revealing because money touches so many aspects of consciousness. Your relationship with money reflects your beliefs about worthiness, security, abundance, and power. If you're always struggling financially, your reality is mirroring back beliefs about scarcity, unworthiness, or fear of success. If money flows easily to you, it's reflecting beliefs about abundance, value, and deservingness. The people who trigger you the most are your greatest teachers, because they're showing you exactly where you need to heal. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the parts of yourself you've rejected or denied. When someone annoys or angers you, they're usually displaying a quality that you have, but don't want to acknowledge. The intensity of your reaction is proportional to how much you need to integrate this aspect of yourself. Career and success mirrors reveal your beliefs about your capabilities, worthiness, and life purpose. If you're stuck in unfulfilling work, your reality is mirroring beliefs about settling, playing small, or not deserving better. If opportunities consistently pass you by, it's reflecting beliefs about not being good enough or ready enough. If you're thriving professionally, It's mirroring beliefs about your value and capability. Health mirrors are among the most profound, because your physical body is constantly reflecting your emotional and mental state. Chronic tension shows internal stress and resistance. Digestive issues often reflect difficulty digesting life experiences. Heart problems can indicate emotional blocks around love and relationships. This isn't about blame or guilt. It's about understanding the body's wisdom and what it's trying to communicate. The concept of pattern recognition is crucial for reading your reality mirror. Effective. Look for recurring themes in your life experiences. Do you always end up in the same type of conflicts? Do similar problems keep appearing in different contexts? Do you repeatedly attract the same type of person or situation? These patterns are your subconscious mind's way of showing you what needs to be healed or transformed. Sometimes the mirror shows you not what you are but what you're becoming. Challenging experiences often appear just before major breakthroughs, because your consciousness is stretching to accommodate a new level of reality. The chaos is the old patterns breaking down to make room for the new. Understanding this prevents you from taking temporary difficulties as permanent reflections of your worth or capability. The practice of mirror dialogue involves consciously communicating with your reality as if it's an intelligent entity trying to help you grow. When something challenging happens, ask, what are you trying to show me? What do I need to learn or heal here? How is this serving my highest evolution? This transforms difficulties from random occurrences into purposeful guidance. Positive mirrors are just as important to recognize as negative ones. When beautiful experiences show up in your life, unexpected kindness, perfect timing, delightful surprises, they're reflecting your alignment, growth, and expanding capacity to receive. Acknowledging and appreciating these positive mirrors amplifies them and creates more experiences to match. The concept of mirror reprogramming involves consciously changing your internal state to change the external reflection. If your reality is consistently showing you limitation, you work on expanding your beliefs about possibility. If it's showing you loneliness, you work on developing a loving relationship with yourself. If it's showing you chaos, you work on creating internal peace and order. Advanced mirror reading involves recognizing that you're not just creating your individual reality, you're participating in the collective mirror of humanity. The state of the world reflects the collective consciousness of all humans. By healing your own consciousness, you contribute to healing the collective mirror. This is how individual transformation becomes planetary transformation. The ultimate mastery of the mirror principle is when you can maintain your center regardless of what the mirror shows you. You understand that even difficult reflections are temporary and changeable. You know that by consistently aligning with love, peace, and abundance internally, your external reality must eventually match. This is when you become a master of reality rather than a victim of circumstance. The mirror never lies, but it also never judges. It simply reflects with perfect accuracy what you're broadcasting. When you can look at your life with the compassion of a loving parent observing a child's growth, you can use the mirror principle to accelerate your evolution rather than judge your current position. Every reflection is information, and every piece of information is an opportunity for conscious course correction. The Chapter 13. Money, Love, and Health. Attracting in specific areas. The three areas where people most desperately want to apply the law of attraction are money, love, and health. These fundamental aspects of human experience carry the deepest emotional charges, the strongest cultural programming, and the most complex belief systems. Understanding how to navigate these specific domains without sabotaging yourself requires both universal principles and domain-specific wisdom. Money. The energy of exchange. Money is not evil, and it's not spiritual to be poor. Money is simply energy, a tool for exchange that amplifies whatever consciousness you bring to it. The reason so many people struggle financially despite understanding attraction principles is that they have conflicting beliefs about money that create internal resistance and mixed signals to the universe. The first step in attracting money is healing your relationship with it. Most people have inherited beliefs about money from their family, culture, and religious background that create subconscious blocks. Common limiting beliefs include money is the root of all evil, rich people are greedy, there's not enough to go around, I don't deserve wealth, or money changes people. These beliefs operate below conscious awareness but create energetic resistance that repels financial abundance. The practice of money consciousness expansion involves systematically identifying and transforming these limiting beliefs. Instead of money is evil, you cultivate the belief that money is a tool that can be used for tremendous good. Instead of there's not enough, you recognize that we live in an abundant universe with unlimited resources. Instead of I don't deserve wealth, you affirm that I deserve abundance because I am a valuable human being with unique gifts to offer. Gratitude for money you already have, no matter how little, is crucial for attracting more. This means appreciating the coins in your pocket, the bills in your wallet, the ability to purchase food and shelter. When you're grateful for the money you have, you're vibrating at the frequency of abundance rather than lack. This frequency naturally attracts more money to appreciate. The concept of value alignment is essential for sustainable wealth attraction. Money flows most easily to those who are providing genuine value to others. Ask yourself, how can I serve? What problems can I solve? What gifts can I share? When your desire for money is aligned with your desire to contribute, you create what I call sacred commerce. Financial success that feels good and serves everyone involved. Love, the frequency of connection. Love is your natural state, not something you need to find or earn. The reason many people struggle with attracting romantic love is that they're looking for someone else to complete them, rather than recognizing their own completeness. The universe can only give you a partner who matches your relationship with yourself. If you don't love yourself, you'll attract partners who don't love you either. The foundation of attracting love is developing what I call self-romance. This means treating yourself with the same kindness, attention, and care you would want from an ideal partner. Take yourself on dates. Buy yourself flowers. Speak to yourself with love and appreciation. When you genuinely enjoy your own company, you become magnetic to others who also want to enjoy your company. Many people sabotage their love manifestations by focusing on what they don't want, rather than what they do want. They create mental lists of deal breakers and spend energy pushing away undesirable qualities rather than magnetizing desirable ones. This negative focus attracts exactly what they're trying to avoid. Instead, focus exclusively on how you want to feel in a relationship and what qualities would create those feelings. The practice of love visualization is particularly powerful because it engages your heart chakra directly. Visualize yourself in loving moments with your ideal partner, not focusing on their physical appearance but on the quality of connection, the depth of understanding, the joy of companionship. Feel the emotions of being loved, appreciated, and cherished. This emotional state is what attracts a partner capable of creating those feelings. Timing in love manifestation is crucial and often misunderstood. The universe will not bring you your ideal partner until you're ready to be their ideal partner. This means doing your own emotional healing, developing your own interests and passions, and becoming the kind of person you want to attract. Often, the delay in love manifestation is the universe's gift, giving you time to prepare for the relationship of your dreams. Health, the physical expression of consciousness. Your body is the physical manifestation of your consciousness. Every cell is listening to your thoughts, responding to your emotions, and reflecting your beliefs. Understanding health through the lens of the law of attraction doesn't mean ignoring medical care. It means recognizing that your mental and emotional state significantly influences your physical well-being. The relationship between stress and illness is well documented by medical science. Chronic stress, worry, fear, and negative emotions create biochemical changes that suppress immune function and create inflammation. Conversely, positive emotions like joy, gratitude, and love trigger the release of healing hormones and boost immune function. Your emotional state is quite literally medicine or poison for your body. Belief systems about health and aging have tremendous power. If you believe that getting older necessarily means declining health, your body will obediently fulfill that expectation. If you believe that your family history of disease predetermines your future, you create energetic conditions that support that manifestation. Changing your beliefs about what's possible for your health is the first step in attracting optimal well-being. The practice of body appreciation transforms your relationship with your physical form, from criticism to gratitude. Instead of focusing on what's wrong with your body, consciously appreciate everything that's working correctly. Your heart beats approximately 100,000 times per day without any conscious effort from you. Your immune system is constantly protecting you from threats. Your body is performing millions of miracles every moment. This appreciation raises your vibration and supports healing. Visualization for health involves seeing and feeling yourself in perfect well-being, but it's crucial to visualize from a place of love rather than fear. If you're visualizing health because you're terrified of illness, you're actually focusing on illness. Instead, visualize optimal health because you love your body and want to experience the joy of physical vitality. Integration, the holistic approach, the key to success in all three areas, money, love, and health, is recognizing their interconnectedness. Financial stress affects your health and relationships. Relationship problems drain your energy and affect your earning capacity. Health issues can create financial and relationship challenges. Working on all three areas simultaneously, rather than focusing obsessively on one, creates a foundation for holistic abundance. Each area also serves as practice for the others. Learning to attract money teaches you about worthiness and value, which supports attracting love. Developing self-love improves your relationship with your body, supporting health. Maintaining physical vitality gives you the energy to pursue financial and romantic goals. The ultimate realization is that money, love, and health are not separate things to acquire. They're expressions of your natural abundance. When you align with your true nature as a worthy, lovable, vital being, these areas of your life naturally flourish. The manifestation becomes effortless because you're not trying to get something you don't have. You're simply allowing what you are to express itself fully. Chapter 14. What to do when nothing's working. Every serious student of the law of attraction eventually faces what I call the dark night of manifestation. A period when, despite your best efforts, your sincere practice, and your unwavering belief, nothing seems to be working. Your visualizations feel empty, synchronicities disappear, and the gap between your current reality and your desires seems to be widening rather than closing. This chapter will not only help you navigate these challenging periods, but transform them into your greatest breakthroughs. The first thing to understand about manifestation delays is that they're not punishment or evidence that the law of attraction doesn't work. They're often signs that something much bigger is trying to emerge than what you originally asked for. The universe operates on a timeline that encompasses your entire soul's evolution, not just your personality's immediate desires. What feels like delay might actually be divine timing orchestrating circumstances for a manifestation that exceeds your wildest dreams. The hidden gifts of manifestation delays often serve crucial purposes that aren't immediately apparent. They might be giving you time to develop the character, skills, or emotional maturity needed to handle what you've asked for. They might be protecting you from something that seemed good, but would have ultimately limited your growth. They might be aligning multiple variables, people, opportunities, resources, to create a manifestation that's far more magnificent than what you could have arranged with your limited perspective. Sometimes delays are clearing away what needs to go before what you want can arrive. If you're trying to attract your ideal romantic partner, the delay might be giving a current relationship time to naturally dissolve or giving you time to heal patterns that would sabotage the new love. If you're manifesting career success, the delay might be preparing you for opportunities that don't yet exist, or clearing away limiting beliefs that would prevent you from recognizing and seizing them. The energy audit. When manifestations seem stuck, it's time for what I call an energy audit. This involves honestly examining every aspect of your consciousness to identify where resistance might be hiding. Start with your beliefs. Do you truly believe you deserve what you're asking for? Do you believe it's possible for someone like you? Do you have conflicting beliefs that are canceling out your desires? Examine your emotions. Are you trying to feel positive while carrying unresolved anger, sadness, or fear? Suppressed emotions create energetic blocks that prevent the free flow of manifestation. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give yourself is permission to feel whatever is really there, without judgment, and allow those emotions to move through and release. Check your attachments. Are you so focused on a specific outcome that you've closed yourself off to alternative pathways? Are you holding so tightly to your vision that you're energetically strangling it? Sometimes loosening your grip allows your desires to flow to you more easily. The practice of sacred waiting. There's a difference between passive waiting and sacred waiting. Passive waiting is resignation disguised as patience, a giving up that masquerades as letting go. Sacred waiting is an active state of receptivity where you maintain high vibration and inspired action while trusting divine timing. It's waiting with anticipation rather than desperation, with faith rather than doubt. Sacred waiting involves continuing your spiritual practices not because you're trying to make something happen, but because these practices connect you to your essential nature. You meditate, not to manifest, but to remember who you are. You practice gratitude not to attract more, but to appreciate what's already here. This shift from doing practices to get something, to doing practices to be someone changes everything. The power of releasing and redirecting. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do when nothing's working is to completely release your current manifestation goals and redirect your energy towards service, growth, or healing. This isn't giving up. It's expanding beyond the limitations of your personal desires to align with something larger. Ask yourself, how can I serve during this waiting period? What can I learn? How can I grow? What healing is available to me right now? Often, the act of releasing personal agenda and focusing on contribution creates such a shift in your energy field that manifestations begin flowing again, usually in ways more beautiful than you originally imagined. The breakthrough pattern. Understanding the typical pattern of breakthroughs can help you navigate difficult periods with more grace. Breakthroughs often follow what I call the spiral of initiation. First, there's expansion. You set new goals and feel excited about possibilities. Then comes contraction. Obstacles appear, doubts arise, old patterns resurface. This is followed by a period of integration. You work through the challenges, heal old wounds, and develop new capacities. Finally, there's breakthrough, sudden manifestation, often multiple manifestations at once, at a level higher than you originally envisioned. Most people quit during the contraction phase, not realizing they're often just steps away from breakthrough. The contraction isn't evidence that you're moving away from your goals. It's evidence that you're moving toward them so powerfully that everything unlike your desires is being brought to the surface for healing and release. Advanced troubleshooting techniques. When standard approaches aren't working, try these advanced techniques. Timeline jumping. Visualize yourself in parallel realities where your desires have already manifested. Feel into these alternate versions of yourself and consciously choose to align with that timeline. Ancestor healing. Sometimes manifestation blocks come from generational patterns. Visualize healing limiting beliefs and traumas in your family lineage, freeing both past and future generations. Shadow integration. Examine what aspects of your desires you might be unconsciously afraid of. Success brings responsibility. Love brings vulnerability. Wealth brings complexity. Acknowledge and integrate these fears rather than pretending they don't exist. The re-rating revelation. The most profound realization during challenging periods is that the universe might be re-rating you towards something better than what you asked for. Your original desire might have been a stepping stone to help you discover what you really want. The failure to manifest might be the success of your higher self redirecting you toward your true purpose. This doesn't mean settling for less. It means trusting that there might be more available than you originally knew to ask for. The delays, obstacles, and apparent failures might be the universe's way of expanding your vision and preparing you for a life beyond your current ability to imagine. The Phoenix Principle. Like the mythical phoenix that burns itself to ashes only to rise again more magnificent than before. Sometimes your manifestation practice needs to die for something greater to be born. The techniques that worked before might need to be released. The goals that once excited you might need to be outgrown. The identity that was seeking might need to dissolve for the identity that has already found to emerge. This death and rebirth cycle is not failure. It's evolution. Each time you go through this process, you emerge with greater wisdom, deeper faith, and more powerful manifestation abilities. The dark night of manifestation becomes the dawn of mastery. Chapter 15. Living as the magnet. There comes a moment in every manifestor's journey when the techniques become unnecessary, when the struggle dissolves, and when attraction becomes as natural as breathing. This is the state of living as the magnet, where you no longer do manifestation. You are manifestation. This final chapter is about transcending the need for methods and becoming a walking, living attractor field for miracles. Living as the magnet means that your very presence becomes creative. Your thoughts automatically align with possibility. Your emotions naturally gravitate toward joy and appreciation. and your actions flow from inspiration rather than obligation. You don't have to remember to be positive or work to maintain high vibration. These become your default states because you've remembered who you truly are. The identity shift, the transformation from someone who practices manifestation to someone who embodies it, begins with a fundamental identity shift. Instead of seeing yourself as a human being trying to become spiritual, you recognize yourself as a spiritual being, having a human experience. Instead of identifying as someone who lacks and therefore must attract, you know yourself as someone who is inherently abundant and therefore naturally receives. This shift happens gradually through consistent practice, but there's often a moment of recognition, a sudden knowing that you are not separate from what you desire because you are not separate from anything. In that moment of unity consciousness, the entire manifestation paradigm shifts from getting something outside yourself to allowing something that's already within yourself to express. The fear-based ego that worries about survival, comparison and scarcity begins to dissolve, replaced by what I call the abundance identity. A way of being that knows there's always enough, that trusts the universe's generous nature, and that expects good things as naturally as expecting the sun to rise. Effortless alignment. When you're living as the magnet, alignment stops being something you have to work to achieve and becomes your natural state. Your thoughts spontaneously align with your highest good, because thinking limitation becomes as uncomfortable as wearing shoes that don't fit. Your emotions naturally flow toward joy and appreciation because these feelings now represent your home frequency. This doesn't mean you never experience challenging emotions or difficult circumstances. It means that when these experiences arise, you naturally and quickly return to your center. Like a tuning fork that's been struck, you might vibrate temporarily with whatever frequency hits you, but you always return to your true tone. The practice becomes so integrated that you no longer think about manifestation. You simply live from the assumption that the universe is always working in your favor, that everything is unfolding perfectly, and that your desires are already on their way to you. This assumption becomes so fundamental to your worldview that it operates automatically below the level of conscious thought. The magnetic presence people living as magnets have a quality of presence that's immediately recognizable. They radiate a sense of inner fullness, unshakable peace, and quiet confidence that's not based on external circumstances. Others are naturally drawn to them, because they emanate the very qualities love, abundance, joy, success that everyone is seeking. This magnetic presence isn't about being perfect or never having problems. It's about having developed such a strong center that you remain connected to your essential nature, regardless of what's happening around you. You become like a lighthouse, steady, bright, and reliable, offering guidance to others not through preaching but through example. Your conversations naturally inspire others because you speak from possibility rather than limitation. Your very presence gives others permission to dream bigger, believe more deeply, and expect miracles. You become a catalyst for awakening in everyone you encounter, not through effort, but through beyond technique. Living the principles at this stage, the specific techniques of manifestation, visualization, affirmations, gratitude practices, become less important than the principles they were designed to cultivate. You no longer need to set aside time to visualize because you're constantly seeing through the eyes of possibility. You don't need to practice gratitude because appreciation flows through you like breath. You don't need to work on positive thinking because limitation-based thoughts feel foreign to your consciousness. The principles themselves become integrated into your being. You embody the law of attraction by being attractive. You demonstrate the law of vibration by maintaining high frequency naturally. You exemplify the principle of detachment by caring deeply while holding lightly. You live the truth of abundance by expecting and receiving good continuously. The service dimension. One of the most beautiful aspects of living as the magnet is that your personal manifestation becomes inseparable from service to others. As you embody abundance, you naturally become a source of abundance for others. As you radiate love, you help heal the lovelessness in the world. As you express your authentic gifts, you inspire others to discover and share theirs. Your life becomes a living demonstration that the law of attraction works, not through talking about it, but through being it. People see the joy, peace, and success you embody, and want to know your secret. Your very existence becomes a form of teaching, showing others what's possible when someone fully aligns with their true nature. This service dimension happens naturally, without effort or strategy. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, to offer exactly what someone needs. Resources flow through you to reach people who can benefit from them. Opportunities present themselves for you to use your gifts in service of the greater good. The ripple effect. Living as the magnet creates ripples that extend far beyond your personal life. Your family dynamics shift as you stop trying to change others and start embodying the change you want to see. Your work environment transforms as you bring high vibration energy to every interaction. Your community benefits as you naturally contribute your gifts and resources. The ripple effect extends to the collective consciousness of humanity. Each person who awakens to their true nature as a creative being raises the vibration of the entire species. Your personal transformation contributes to the evolution of consciousness on the planet. By becoming fully yourself, you help everyone else remember who they truly are. The paradox of mastery. The ultimate paradox of manifestation mastery is that once you achieve it, it no longer matters. When you're living as the magnet, you realize that you already have everything you truly need, because you have yourself. The external manifestations become beautiful expressions of your inner abundance rather than necessary additions to your completeness. You still enjoy creating, attracting and manifesting, but from a place of play rather than need. Like an artist who paints for the joy of creation rather than to fill an empty wall. You manifest for the joy of conscious creation rather than to fill an empty life. This doesn't make you passive or without preferences. You still have desires, goals, and dreams, but they arise from fullness rather than emptiness, from inspiration rather than desperation, from love rather than fear. And because they arise from this pure place, they manifest with an ease and beauty that takes your breath away. The invitation living as the magnet is not reserved for a chosen few or those with special gifts. It's the natural state of every human being, temporarily obscured by conditioning, but always available for reclamation. The techniques and practices in this book are simply ways of removing the obstacles to your natural magnetism, like cleaning a window to let light shine through. The invitation is to stop trying so hard to become something you're not, and start remembering who you've always been. You are not a limited being trying to attract unlimited things. You are an unlimited being temporarily focused through a physical form. And everything in the universe is available to you because everything in the universe is you. The journey from desperation to manifestation to magnetism is ultimately a journey home to yourself. And once you're home, you realize you were never actually lost. You were simply playing the most magnificent game of hide and seek with your own divine nature. Now that you've found yourself, the real adventure begins. Living as the full expression of who you truly are, and watching in wonder as the universe rearranges itself to match your magnificent truth. Welcome home, dear magnet. The universe has been waiting for you to remember.